It's because I have to open up the second time. Okay, I think we're good. I just want to be able to see comments and questions. Okay, let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, we're starting to come on. Ah! Oh my goodness, this is going to be so much fun. Okay, can we, let's see. I can't quite see the fire. Okay. Well, I sort of can. I just like to be able to see it in the video so I can tell that I'm by the fire. So let me just move that over a little bit. Yeah, okay, that works. So that the fire can be enjoyed. Hey, Wanda, hello to you. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. All right. So I think hopefully you guys can all see me fine. Hopefully you can see the fire and imagine that it is warming you in case you're in a chilly location like I am today. I'm in Atlanta, well actually north of Atlanta, about an hour, in the kind of the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's cool and gray and very wintry. I'm in the midst of this beautiful estate where there are just trees everywhere, forested meadows, and the trees are all naked, and so there's all these amazing branches, you know, everywhere you look, just this cacophony of fractal branches just holding up the sky. It's extraordinary, and this land is sacred. You know, if those of you saw the hey Seta, hi, oh thank you for the love, I love you. Send me some hearts, you guys. If you saw the video the other day where I was actually out on the ceremonial land where literally the native people of this area were doing ceremony hundreds of years ago, if not even thousands of years ago. And I shared how it felt like I was interrupting a party when I went down there because there was so much energy down there. It was wild. So hi, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, oh, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I feel ya. Thank you. Hi, I'm Licia Berry. I'm the founder and the creator of the Daughters of Earth Project. Hey, Tracy. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to do something I have never done on a live video before. I've certainly, shared lots of stuff about what I see coming in the new year since I started doing this in 2008, but usually in a private, in-person group or on my email list. And so this is the first time. Hello. Oh, Joni, hey, that was a good share the other day. Thank you. I appreciated that. That was it was a powerful day. So this is the first time I've done this on live Facebook, where I've actually brought you into my process about what I do for the new year. And I listen in, to all my helpers, because that is my job as a translator, to bring the information through and to share with you from a balanced perspective, not from a fear-mongering perspective or a Pollyanna perspective. I really like the balance. It's important for me. I needed Licia Berry infusion. Thanks, Tracy. So I'm going to be bringing you some grounded, practical, logical, information. You're getting it from me, and that's me. Hey, Marty, I saw that love. Thank you. You're going to be getting it in a way that is grounded. Okay, so you're not going to be getting the kind of information, but you are going to get some information that's coming in from the bigger intelligence, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in tandem, because I don't think it's useful to have a bunch of information and not have action steps about what to do about it. That's how I like to operate in my life, and since I think like a scientist and use the scientific method in everything that I do, and everything is evidence-based, then I like action and I like practical while bringing in that big intel. So I'm going to be bringing both to you today. We're going to talk about 2019, obviously, like what is coming. We're going to be talking about what 2018 did for us and how it's been preparing us all this time for what's coming in 2019. I'm going to make a big confession, which I'm not excited about, but I was told by my helpers that I needed to make a confession to you. and I will. And I'm going to tell you about what we can do to manage this coming year well, and the changes that are coming. I have to make sure I have my water. You guys go get a glass of water or some nice tea, something to drink, okay? And then bring your journal. Go grab your journal if you don't have it already, and a pen, okay? Because you're going to want to write some stuff down. Hey, Mary! Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So, yeah, grab something to write with and something to drink if you don't have it already. I have mine. Just making sure it's all here. Yes, it's all here. Okay. Lucky number 13. 13 is always my favorite number. All right, so welcome. So first, before I begin, this is a ritual that I perform every year. I've been doing it for a long time. Thanks, Mary. She's already checking in about the new year and doing a lot of intentional process around the new year, because I really love the ritual of honoring something that's ending and honoring a new beginning. Hey, Tony. Awesome. Just in time. Perfect. You are right in time. So I want to give a special shout out to Elizabeth Barber, who has been our Daughters of Earth featured member these last 2 weeks. She's an expert in ritual and ceremony and creating sacred celebrations, something that we talked about in her interview. She has been doing this for as long as I've known her, which is more than a decade. It's actually been, we're closer now to almost 20 years, actually. Oh my God. I want to really encourage you, if you haven't had a look at the videos and the posts that she shared these last 2 weeks here in Daughters of Earth, they're all around creating special rituals or celebrations for passages in our lives. Any kind of passage. It doesn't matter if it's a happy one or a sad one, or if it's just simply something ending and something new starting, like a new job, or ending a relationship, or starting, moving into a new house. Hey, Nancy! Oh God, awesome! I'm so glad you're here. So the ritual. So check Elizabeth out if you haven't done that already, please. She's pristine and awesome, and oh my gosh, you need to get to know her if you don't know her. So do it. So ritual of the ending of the year and the beginning of the new year is something that I have always loved to do. Long time. And so my rituals have gotten bigger and longer, so that I literally spend a whole month between like December 15th and January 15th or so, just really digging in deep, like really being with this transition of the old year leaving and the new year coming in. And I like that because I like to honor the outgoing, right? The year that's leaving us, the year that is ending, the year that is taking its passage, and welcoming in the new one with this open space. There's something that I have perceived, that when I really honor something that's leaving and really bring ritual to it, or bring intention to it, and bring action to it, that it clears the space. Sort of like the clearing I was in the other day, where the native people of this area have been doing ceremony. It's just this clear open space. And when you have a clear open space, then, well, you can put all kinds of new awesome stuff in it. So there's no clutter, there's no leftover baggage, there's no dust and detritus, from the previous year. It's really a way to just cleanse the space, and then you can open it up for the next one. So it's brilliant in general, to do this. Okay, so what I do in my ritual is I look at the previous year. Okay, and we're going to be doing this in the Crossing the Bridge event on December 29th, the collage retreat, you guys, the online collage retreat. I hope you can join for that, where we actually look at 2018 and we identify, like, go into deep space. I get everybody in a whole brain state. We go into deep space and look, what are the lessons? What if I were to look at 2018 from a completely above myself perspective, so not having necessarily gone through it, but maybe somebody watching from up high, kind of watching this person, going through the year, what kind of lessons were there in 2018? So I always like to make a list of all the things that I believe I learned, or the things that 2018 tried to teach me. Maybe I didn't learn it. We are human after all, and I'm as stubborn as they come. But a list of those things, but then also to make a pact. I like to do this in my ritual. Maybe you might want to do it too. I like to make an agreement with the outgoing year, the energy of that year, because everything that exists has energy. Everything that exists is intelligent in some form, maybe not just exactly like ours, but there's intelligence there. So the intelligence that was that year, that package of 2018, to make an agreement that I will harvest the love and the lessons, and that I will release the pain and the suffering so that it can go with 2018 into the void, into that place that things that are no longer alive go. So it can take the pain and suffering with it, because I don't need to carry that anymore. I just needed the love and the lessons. Pain is a great teacher, right? So, hopefully I learned my lessons last year, but I don't need the pain. I don't need to carry the pain. I just need the love and the lessons. So this is part of what I do in my ritual, is honor by naming the lessons, and then making an agreement, and then sending the pain away, sending it on its way in deep gratitude, bowing in deep gratitude. So this is what we're going to do in the Crossing the Bridge on December 29th. For those of you who are looking into that, I will put the link to that up here in the post, and it's all over everywhere else. So you're welcome to join us for that. The second part of the ritual then is to clear the space so that we can really listen in about 2019, and to prepare. Now, I will tell you that we're in the midst of a culture shift. You didn't know that, right? We are all feeling it, and I believe that those of us who are tapped into the collective intelligence and have been assigned, roles in the culture shift, like myself, are feeling it big time. And even people who don't have this kind of language, or who don't think this kind of way that I'm talking about, are feeling it too. Yeah, that's right. And so the culture shift is occurring, and that's the whole purpose of Daughters of Earth. The whole purpose of us being here, of me creating this forum, is so that we can weather it together, that we can navigate the culture shift together. Together, shoulder to shoulder, woman to woman, relying on each other and encouraging each other in using our medicine and utilizing the strengths and talents that we have, but not in an old world way, not in a sort of a patriarchal or masculine way, but a woman-y way, really allowing our feminine and Earth's voice to express through us. And that's why we're called Daughters of Earth. So the whole point of Daughters of Earth is to nurture and guide and connect women who are feeling the shift. And we are moving into something we've never seen before, not in our lifetime, and not for a very long time, for thousands of years. We are shifting into something that we, as far as we know, as far as we could say, we've never laid eyes on it before. And so we're birthing something without knowing what it is. And those of us who've had children, we have some idea. When a baby's in your belly, it's a baby, at least. But you don't really know who they are. You don't know what they look like. You don't know their personality. You don't know who they are. Yet you are walking forward in faith, because you're carrying this giant baby. And by the time it's time for that baby to come out, you're like, please get this freaking baby out of me before I shriek and scream and pull my hair out. You want to birth it, even though you don't know what it is, because it has to be born. Right? It has to be born. It is the law. It has to be born. That is what's happening with this culture shift, you all. This culture shift has to be born. Now, It can be born sweetly, or it can be born violently. And this is where I'm gonna walk with you through some fire here. You know, sometimes change is frightening, especially for those of us who like things to be familiar and nice and stay the same and everything's cool. And other times we understand there's wisdom in change, and that we just need to take a deep breath and flow with it. This is what's coming. We're in the presence of the birth. We have been clearing the decks in 2018 for the birth of the culture shift. 2019 is when it begins. I'm going to go into detail about all of that. I'm going to tell you that there are ways to navigate through this, and that I'm going to tell you some of the ways to navigate through this and share what I have learned over the years of really being tapped into the larger intelligence. First of all, do you all know what I mean when I say the larger intelligence? Does that make sense to you? Some people say God or goddess. Some people say source. Some people say, beloved creator. I say all those things and more. I say all kinds of names because I'm trans-denominational. I love all the ways that, spirit shows up. But I think of it as the big brain, the bigger brain, the big intelligence. And that the big intelligence is life living through all of us. And that there are instructions constantly being pumped through us. I love it. The all that is, yes. Higher power, yes. All those, yes. All that. I think of it as just this constant flow of life-affirming data beating like a big heart in the middle of the universe. And those pulses, just like the heartbeat in our own body, those pulses are carrying data. How to live, how to live, how to live. In alignment with divine law, in alignment with nature's law, in alignment with who we are, like who we came to be. So that's what I mean by bigger brain. I've been tapping in and listening and translating bigger brain since I was a kid, but I really got serious about it 20 years ago and started honing my mind and training. And so I'm really good at this. This is my gift. This is my superpower, is translating the bigger brain. So I ask questions, bigger brain answers, right? And so this is where all this information is coming from for you. Here's the confession. So 20 years I have been intentionally listening. 20 years, bigger brain has been feeding me answers to my questions and more, way more, like whole bodies of work, whole books, whole. This is the third one, okay? I am her daughter. That's just the third one. I probably have 13 or 14 books sitting on my hard drive waiting for me to finish them. All the curriculum I teach is straight from Big Brain. Everything I teach is straight information. The Daughters of Earth program is meant to be a guide. It's actually what I didn't understand. Here's my confession, because even though I'm getting information from the bigger brain, I am still a freaking human, and I am so attached to being human, and I am so stubborn and so determined to have a human experience, even though I have access to all this information, and I'm so committed to my checks and balances and checking accuracy and being a skeptic and all this stuff, and yet, a scientist bringing this big brain in, and yet over and over and over and over, all this time, it has proven out over and over every single time the information shows up, it is accurate. And so Daughters of Earth was a response to this. When I was guided to write I'm Her Daughter, The Healing Path to Woman's Power, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I was told that I needed to create a handbook to go with this. That this book is 400 pages, right? So there's a lot of information here, and it can be easy to get lost in that there's a lot of techniques in there and tools and ways for women to navigate the big culture shift, because that's what that book is about. That's what this program is about, is supporting women, guiding women in navigating the culture shift so that we can help midwife it into being. We are midwives. So my confession, I didn't understand. I didn't understand the depth of how the Daughters of Earth program was meant to be a direct answer to how women midwife the culture shift. I thought it was just a support, like, here's a safe place for you to come and learn, and here's a safe place for you to come and get to know each other, and here's just sort of like a women's circle or women's group. I didn't understand that the handbook that they were asking me to write was actually a living, breathing, organic handbook that I am to teach and that I am to take women through, that it's a 10-month program and that I am to literally walk women through it. And it's not a published book. It's not supposed to be a published book yet. It's supposed to be lived and breathed because there's no time. We need to know this information now. And so I feel a little bit abashed because I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the depth of the information that was being offered to me to offer to you. I didn't understand the value of it. I didn't understand that in this last year, when I've been bringing you all these wonderful women, all these, featured members of Daughters of Earth who are getting access to all this information on the back end in a membership site, none of you guys that are not members, that aren't paying members, are getting that. This was just to be like a connection place. Well, I'm supposed to be teaching this stuff to anyone, any woman who's willing and wants to know how to midwife the new era, how we do it, and how we do it without chaos. Yes, to know it and to put it into action. Thank you, Joni. Yes, to have it under your belt, to have a place to practice it, and to take it out into the world in an embodied way. That is how culture changes, ladies, is we live it, we breathe it, we eat it, we breathe it, we poop it out, we live it, and then we take it into the world. We embody it. We are the model for it. And so that's what the handbook for Daughters of Earth and the whole Daughters of Earth program is supposed to be. And so that's what we're doing. I'm doing a reset button. I'm starting again, starting on December 29th. Well, official start is February, but we're doing a bonus session, December 29th, the New Year session, for people who join us for the year, for next year. They get the bonus session in December. We'll start in December for you. But I'll tell you more about that later, because this is not a sales pitch. This is an invitation. If it feels right to you, I want you. This is written for you. This whole, all my years, all these 20 years of bringing this information are for you. If it doesn't fit, it's okay. However, you may want, you may want to hear what I have to say about this year and what's coming. Hey, Shane, why without chaos? Chaos is needed in order to shift. Did I say without chaos? Or did I say to handle the chaos, to navigate it, to navigate the change? Because yes, there's going to be some chaos, but we can do it gently, or we can do it not so gently. So for me personally, I love when there's less pain. I don't know about you guys. I like less pain. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about 2019. And I'm going to tell you what I have been collecting. I have a lot of friends who are tapping into big brain like me, a lot of colleagues that I trust, a handful. There are a lot of people who say they're doing that I don't trust because I don't feel it in my body when they're talking. And, my helpers will steer me in the direction of people who are in integrity. And that's who I bring here, to the Daughters of Earth program is to share them with you. Because I trust them, and my heart is a big old sieve. And if I don't feel you and I don't trust you, then I'm not going to introduce you to my tribe. So, some of my helpers, some of my tribe members are astrologers. I am not an astrologer, but I will be sharing some of what they have told me. Some of my tribe people are money people, like financial people. Some of my tribe are intuitives. Some of my tribe are wise women who have been tapped into Earth's rhythms, rhythms, that's hard to say, for their whole lives, like elder wise women, like grandmothers, who have taken me under their wing and who have things to sell me. These are Indigenous people, as well as Native American, as well as other Aboriginal people, and then elder women who have just been super tapped in to the earth since they were little kids. So I have a council. I have a beautiful ring, a circle of tribe members that I go to, because we can share information, and I can share what I know with them, and they share what they know with me, and we support each other. I'm just looking to widen that circle by bringing all of you in, right? So all of us together helping each other that way. So here's what they say about 2019. What they say is you're a big change. Now, I'm going to tell you all the ways. I have my list of things that I've been guided to share with you that they have said, because that means, according to me, that's according to my book, that they're true. If I have been guided to share something with you, it's because it's true. That's my agreement with Big Brain. We are going to be having a tremendous shift in March. This is something I've been told for a couple of years, that March of 2019 there was going to be a big change, a very big shift. I'm going to say some more about that. There's a shift economically. There are power shifts. There are disclosures. Let's start with the economy. Let's start with money. So there are some economists out there, people who are connected to money, and some of whom make predictions. And it's kind of funny how people listen to economy predictions, but they don't want to listen to an astrology prediction. It's like with a weatherman. Like, you want to listen to the weatherman, who's not always right too. Anyway, just a double standard there. The economists that I'm reading and am connected to agree that there is some kind of a breakdown economically in 2019. How the degree of breakdown is from minor, in some economist eyes, to pretty major in other economist eyes. So in some economist eyes, we're looking at similar to what happened 10 years ago. Similar to the repression, is that what it was called? The Great Repression? It wasn't the Depression, it was the repression. So thanks for the hearts, I appreciate that. It was in 2008 when the economy tanked and we had the housing bubble burst. Do you guys remember? Some of us were very deeply impacted by that. That there's something similar to that. It could be a little less than that. It could be a lot less than that. My hope is that it's a lot less than that, because that was a very hard time for a lot of people. Fortunately, in my case, we sold our house per guidance last year, or in late 2017, because we were being told it's going to get harder to sell your house. Get out now. Recession. Thank you, Joni. Oh my gosh, so terrible. Yes, the Great Recession, the repression. Another word I like to use is repression. So yeah, we're free and clear. Our house is sold. Money's in the bank. I've stuck it away in a savings account so that we have a nest egg to start over again. And of course, we've been on the road. I have for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in April next spring. I can't even believe that I've been on the road that long. But anyway, this is something that we need to be alert to, or we can just not pay attention to it, and that's cool. We don't have to pay attention, right? We have a choice, free will, right? But to get your ducks in a row financially before the spring. There are power shifts coming. So we already know that because we're seeing power shifts going on with this culture shift, right? We're seeing that the power, the status quo, the structure that we've all been accustomed to and have been living with for a long time is shaken, getting shaken up and shaken down. Like literally being, yeah, that's right, like destroyed. Like things are coming down, and the old structure is being washed away. Let's see. I experienced this too, March 2019, Tony. Yeah. Well, you're probably picking up on what's coming. I'm going to say some more about March in particular in just a minute. But the power shifting, you know, as the old structures are eroding, that we're going to see a little bit of chaos in the transfer, you know, of power. If more people, for example, are coming into their voice, that means the power is shifting just by the fact that we are speaking something we haven't spoken before, that we are challenging something we don't like, means there's a power shift. So it could be that we're just, a bunch of us are just like stepping up and speaking our voice and moving in action in ways that we haven't before. And it could also be that there are governmental power shifts, that things break down in government structure. We already kind of, that's not too far from what it feels like is happening already, right? I mean, it's like, duh, that's already kind of happening, but this is what they're saying, that we are going to see a power shift in Europe. We're already seeing a power shift here. There's going to be even more next year in 2019 in the US, that there are going to be disclosures. Things that some of us know, but that are continually denied by the powers that be, that there will be disclosures next year. So anything else I should say about that? So you can kind of fill in the blank about that. Think about what kind of disclosures you've been waiting for. Like, you already know that this something is real, but the government's like, no, you're not seeing UFOs. Those don't exist. No, you know, there are no, under the ground, you know, bases and cities and, you know, these kinds of things. So there are others, you know, but there's a couple that I know of, that I think we will have actual disclosure in next year, or at least the beginning of disclosure, because, right, it has to happen in stages so people don't freak out. So it's some admission. We've already had some admission this year. Have you noticed that? Like the whole Blue Book, you know, stuff, around the star ancestors, you know, that there's been disclosure. Some papers have been made public. A huge number of files have been made public. That's a form of disclosure. That's a gentle, soft launch, right? It's like, it's not the grand opening. It's the soft launch for the people who are paying attention. So disclosures there. My astrologer friend is saying that we are going to have so much earth energy next year. She says that all of the eclipses, solar and lunar, are in Capricorn, which is an earth sign. Again, I'm not an astrologer, so please forgive me if you are, and I'm saying something that isn't right, but I'm just reporting what my astrologer friend has told me, and she's very good. She's in the UK, and she knows her stuff. So she says there's tons of stuff happening in Capricorn, tons of stuff happening in the earth signs next year. And she said, because of that, that's encouraging, the whole year is earth energy. So daughters of earth, right on track, right on time. Okay, Jeannie, this is interesting because I had a dream 2 weeks ago that everything was crumbling around me to the ground. I didn't know if I should try to hold it all up or run. Yes, ma'am, jamma. Welcome to my world. Seta, great, because I'm planting gardens this year. Yes. So earth energy means we are taking care of physical world. We're taking care of our bodies. We're, eating well, drinking water, exercising, taking care of the practical, our bodies. We're also taking care of practical matters, our businesses, our finances, our home. We're paying attention to here. We're not going to, go up here and be up in the air, in the fire, in the mental world or in the spiritual world. We need to bring it home this year. And this is, again, the whole goal of Daughters of Earth and everything I've been teaching for 20 years. I just kind of can't believe it. This is part of what's happening next year too, by the way. All the stuff that you've been doing your whole life, all the things you've been learning, all the experiences you've been having, all your downloads, all these things that you've been like, how does all this go together? It all comes together next year. It all makes sense next year. It's vindicating, actually. It's like you're gonna get the confirmation that you've been waiting your whole life for next year. All the stuff, environment. Yes, Nancy, environment, everything. So paying attention to, yes, embodied. That's exactly it. That's what's written right here. Yes, embodied. So we are to be present. We are to be physical. We are concerned with tangible things, not ideas and promises or, spirit above us, spirit here, bringing spirit here. We are to be grounded. Shane, I know, right? I am stoked. Things that are out of integrity are just going to break apart in a million pieces. If you didn't notice that this year, things getting pushed and tested so that things left your life that were not a good fit anymore, preparing again for next year. Structure, paying attention to structure, paying attention to deepening our focus, deepening our relationship with Mother Earth. I'm so ready. Yes, I am so ready. Deepening our relationship with Mother Earth this year, because guess what, you guys? She's in charge. Now, yes, we are of the big brain. We are of Source. We are of God, Goddess, the beloved Creator. We are of all that. And we are here on this planet, which is our home. And our bodies are made of this planet. Earth, air, fire, water, space. Put this body together, mine and yours. And so that makes you an earthling, and that makes you beholden to Earth's laws. So listen to the Earth, because the Earth is guiding us too. The Earth is intelligent. The Earth is alive. It is organic. It is evolving. And the waves of intelligence from the center, from the heart, the core of the Earth are passing up through us. This is why we're getting all the earthquakes and shakeups and volcanoes, even to the point that it's going to be increasing. Flooding is going to be increasing. Fire and water keep showing up as an increase. But the coming back into earth energy, coming back into remembering that, all this great spiritual stuff and all this seeking and all this ambition and all this, all these things that we seek to do and make happen in the world have to be okay with her. This is her planet. This is her home. We're her kids. We're her children. But Mama's in charge, y'all. Mama Earth is in charge. And if she decides, in her amazing wisdom, however that happens, that she doesn't like what's happening, she loves us and she gives us everything we need, endlessly generous, water, food, all the space, all the beauty, all the nature. But we need to be respectful. And we need to listen, and things have gotten out of hand, and we don't want to have to go through cataclysms where there are deep earth changes, where there's loss of life and loss of property. We've already seen it, where it's already happening, but we don't want to see more of that, do we? Right? We want to listen. We want to be in closer relationship with the earth, laying down belly to belly with the earth, sitting on the ground, walking barefoot in the ground, doing the Hucha release process that I teach. Down, down, down. Next year, down, down, down to the earth. So that should be huge in your 2019, is making your relationship with earth primary. Because that really is going to be a huge determining factor in this culture shift. Something else that my astrologer friend says is to look at your chart, your astrology chart, and see where Capricorn is in your chart, because those areas will get tempered, tested, lessons. What word would you prefer? So check your chart and see where Capricorn is in your chart. All right. March. So here's what's happening in March. Yes. There is a huge transit on March 7th. It is when Uranus comes into Taurus. And that transit, according to my astrologer friend, is major. And this is where you have the breakdown. This is where you have the, the straw that broke the camel's back, like things holding, and then bam! And it's like the thing that breaks it. The thing that breaks it. This is where I see the economy thing that I mentioned earlier happening, so that by end of April, beginning of May, that we should see some economic issues, like what I was talking about a little while ago. And this transit of Uranus in Taurus lasts until 2025. So it's really like the dark underbelly, just like in the earth, in our face, in our relationships, in our homes, and right where it counts, like right where our security, our feeling of safety and connection and security. Apparently Uranus is, well, again, I'm not an astrologer, so maybe I will let an astrologer tell us more about Uranus. I'm still looking for the right astrologer to bring here, by the way, as a featured member. So if you know one that you can recommend, let me know. But so March 7th is the big day. March 7th is when that transit happens. And so it's like the door opens, and then the days after that is when stuff happens, right? All right. So I'm actually speaking at probably the biggest speaking gig I've ever done in my life on that day. So I'm hoping that my transit is very beneficial and is buoying and bringing great success and wonderful things for me. So if you're looking to prepare for March 7th, Daughters of Earth is the answer to that. The short answer is being in the handbook program next year, being with you, because we're going to be moving right through this year. Every single week, we're going to have lives, we're going to have webinars, we're going to have women's circles where we're actually going through the process of practices that are required for us to manage what's coming. And that's an answer to Joni about how to prepare for that. When you say, how to prepare for that, if you're asking me how to prepare economically for that, that's going to be something that each of us has to decide on our own. Like I told you what we did. We were listening. We've been listening. We move when Spirit says move, we do it. I have learned when I am told to do something that I do it on a dime. I trust my guidance that much, and it has always borne out. Always borne out. So we were told to sell our house. I was told to, we're getting on the road. I was told it would be a long time, and I was told make home where your heart is. And that there are people all around that need you, and you're a pilgrim, and you just need to move around. You and Peter together are pilgrims for partnership, and so you just need to go all over, and that's what we're doing. But in your case, look at what you can do to make ready. You're a woman. Inside of you, there is wisdom, and it's ancestral. You know how to make ready. You know how to prepare for winter. You know how to put your stores by. It's in your body. Our ancestors knew how to do that. Our ancestors knew how to prepare for the lean times. We are so lazy now. Oh my gosh, we have every convenience we want, and we can have fruit from across the world in our grocery store and pick it up for $2. And I mean, it's just ridiculous how easy our lives are compared to our ancestors. But we know what to do. We can tap in to look at your economic situation. What do you need to do to prepare? If you have a house, if you don't already check in with your guidance, if you don't have a strong relationship and get accurate information with your guidance, I would start doing that pronto. We do that in the Daughters of Earth program. But if you haven't done that, do it right away. If you need a session and you want to check it with me, I'm happy to do that. If you have a home and you are thinking of leaving sometime in the next year or two, I would go ahead and hurry up and get it on the market and try to sell it by the spring if you can. That's me. That's what I would do. So Joni says she meant spiritually. Of course you did. But I was going to tell you about the practical stuff too, right? Because I promised I would do that. Spiritually preparing for a big change means that you have practices that you need to do to bring spirit home. Like I've been saying, you know, we have all these beautiful meditations and we have all these practices that take us away from earth. And my role has been to bring it here, bring spirit here, bring all of this. Remember who we are. Remember our ancestors. Remember our deep wisdom as women, the wisdom in our bellies, the wisdom that connects to the core of this planet, the wisdom of our brain, our whole brain, our brains. You know that, right? Our brains are different than the male brain. We start different. And we are different. We are able in our brain to have a more connected understanding of the picture of the whole. We know what's good for the whole. The male brain is not designed to do that. The male brain tends to be focused on just the immediate. It's not focusing on what's good for the whole. This is in general, of course, I'm speaking, but this is part of the whole brain movement that I've been pushing. Is like, you know, women have a more whole brain, so you need to be listening to the women. I'm listening to women because I believe women have a deeper connection to what's good for the whole. And this is why I want to see more women leaders out there. That if we're not women that are getting caught in being men, if we're women who are listening and we are tapped into the earth, to the intelligence there, and we're bringing spirit through us and then pulling up the earth energy, and that guidance is coming out mixed in union together from our hearts and our bellies and our brains, women are the leaders of the future. I believe every single one of us is a leader in some way, whether it's a mom, or whether it's our friends are influenced by us, that we are all leaders, but that we literally are the voice of earth. We are literally her voice, and we need to step up and talk and help lead this era that we're coming into. So preparing spiritually means being willing to surrender, being willing to show up and do the practices. Again, the handbook for Daughters of Earth, the program next year, that's what we're doing, starting right away. December 29th is the bonus session. So, okay, here's what else they say about 2019. Oh, yeah. So 2019 is the seeding of the new era, the seeding. 2018 has been about destruction. I think about everything that I've let go of this year, and fortunately doing it willingly, fortunately receiving the guidance to let something go and then dropping it, because otherwise it's sort of like I'm the kid in the school and the nun is smacking on my hand, let go, let go, let go. And I'm like, no! And she's like, let go, let go, let go. Because I'm so stubborn. I have learned it's best if I just go ahead and let go when spirit says, hey, let go. And I do it. I have demonstrated that in my life. I let go of my house. I let go of my possessions. I let go, I let go, I let go. I let go of everything that's secure and safe, quote unquote, safe and secure. This part of the surviving this kind of a change is surrender and deep listening, but doing it together. Doing it together with other wise women, with other wise people. The grounding, the deep in the earth grounding is a major piece of what we need to all be doing. If there's nothing else that you get from me, even if you decide not to be part of Daughters of Earth and join us for the actual course, the handbook material next year, please ground into the core of the earth. We all have heard, you need to ground, but what we're not taught is to ground all the way to the core. We need to ground all the way. I've been training my clients and my students for 20 years to ground to the core, all the way down. And, you can do that through intention. I choose to ground to the core of the earth now. I choose to ground to the core of the earth now. Bam! You can visualize it. But the daily practice of being outside on the ground or sitting on the ground or laying belly to belly on the ground, releasing your hucha, your heavy energy into the ground, all of that to the core, that is key. I'll tell you why. Because there is something that happens to us in our brain, in our primitive brain, and in our electrical system that's generated by our central nervous system. When we connect deeply to the core of the earth, we get a message of safety. in a way that doesn't even hit logic. We don't even think it. It happens back here in our reptilian brain, in our brainstem. We feel the electrical connection with the earth, and we get this deep safety message, a deep message of belonging, a deep message that we're okay, that no matter what shit show is happening up here, sorry for that, shit show is happening up here, we are going to be okay because we are home, we are connected, we are safe. So number one, whatever you do, ground deep into the core. Think of putting roots down like a hurricane. Say a hurricane's coming and your roots are so deep that even if the top of the tree is shaking and bending, the roots are holding you steady. And that's sweet mama. And she's holding us and she's got us. That's what you need to be doing. And you're a woman, and we are supposed to be leading the way in grounding, in being that connected to the earth. We're supposed to be showing the guys how to do that. So we got to do it for ourselves. We got to do it for everybody. Okay. Oop, let me take a water break here. Okay. I already told you body. Body is a major. Thanks for the love, guys. I appreciate that. Paying attention to our body, being healthy. That's going to be a big focus for me. I'm starting the year with the most amazing thing that just was totally divinely orchestrated with a fantastic myofascial practitioner, Shane. I think she commented earlier. We are getting together and she's going to do an entire week of 3 hours a day sessions, fascial sessions with me. And that is going to kickstart my body practice for this year so hard, you guys. Oh my God, it is going to just free me up in ways that I can't even begin to imagine. And of course, I'm going to report everything about that. Of course, I'm going to tell you everything about that when I'm going through it. But that is, I didn't put this together until after, I'd already made this arrangement with her. And then I'm looking, and it's like body is this major indication. The earth and practical and the body are these major indications for next year. I'm like, oh my God. As usual, following me the guidance, put me right in the right place at the right time. I'm starting the year perfect. So that's so super cool. And I also told you about divine timing, that all the things that you've been learning your whole life and all these experiences you've been having and the downloads you've been getting are all going to come together, and you're going to understand how they go together next year. The timing, all that's going to come together. And another thing about next year is us all being in community. All of us coming together in ways that we can support each other. You may have noticed that some relationships fell away this year. And I find it to be very interesting because, even if somebody appeared to be somebody that was going to be the right connection, later they fall away. That has happened to me a couple times this year, at least a few times this year. And I think it will happen even more next year, because it's all this stuff in Capricorn is about integrity, things being in integrity. So structurally sound, anything that's not a fit is going to go. It's just going to go. And if people leave your life, or you need to leave people, and let them drop away, let them go. Let them go. They can't go with you where you're going. Sometimes people say they're going to go with you where you're going, but then when push comes to shove and the invitation's there, they won't come with you. And there's just nothing we can do about that. We have to let them go. I'm sorry. That's hard for me because I want to take everybody with me, but I can't. So we're going to be essentially being set free. We're breaking away from systems that stifle us. So if you haven't caught the theme of 2019 yet, it's big change, and the way to get through it is all these practices, all of these ways that we can connect in deeply as wise women that we are, remembering our connection to earth, remembering that we are guided, remembering that life is way smarter and bigger than we are. And so when life is like the nun with the ruler on my hand, let go, let go, let go, that you let go. Life is smart. we're smart. We're good. We have a good little brain in here, but we don't have all the information like life does, like the big brain does. So when big brain is saying, hey, let go of this person, or let go of this place, let go of this job, let go of this house, let go of this idea, let go of this belief, just do it. Just do it. Choose it. Like, I surrender. I allow this thing out of my life. I release it to the void. Thank you. Love and lessons embraced. Pain and suffering. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. So essentially we're riding a big wave, right? And change happens in waves. We know this. Change happens in waves. It really is about riding the wave or getting clobbered by it. It's really our choice. We really can choose. We can be a sitting duck. We can go, oh shit, this sounds really scary. Oh my God, and just hide, like go under the covers in the corner and hope it's going to be okay when you come out. And that is a way to get clobbered. Or we can step into free will and choice, because we are powerful creators, and we can say, sounds like there's some opportunities next year. Sounds like there's some change coming, and it sounds like there's some real cool opportunities there if I'm ready for them. That is how I am choosing to look at it. I believe that cliche, the Chinese word for crisis is opportunity, or the Chinese meaning of crisis is opportunity. I really believe that that's true. And I'm going to suggest to you that, coming together is the brilliant way to do it. Because we forget. We're each human. I forget. That's why I have my council of all my wise tribe women. I go back to them. I say, oh man, I messed up. I've forgotten something I'm supposed to do. And they're like, yep, you did. Here's how you do it. Here's how you come back in. I'm accountable, right? And I want to be in cooperation with the big brain. I want to be in cooperation with this culture shift. It's happening. It's bigger than us. We can't stop it. Why would we want to? It's supposed to happen. It's that baby that's been asking to be born. It's happening. It's time. And so here we are as midwives, like, okay, everybody breathe. It's time. We're here. We're here to help it happen. We're here to guide it. We're here to help it not be quite such a difficult transition. We're here to have joy and playfulness and goodness in our lives, and to watch this incredible thing happening right in front of our eyes, of the world changing in our lifetime. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we are getting to see this in our lifetime? I've been praying for this for decades. I can't even believe it. I'm like, what an amazing opportunity. So I invite you to join us for next year. Now, this is the place. No fear, only opportunity. Next wave to ride. Yes, ma'am, Seta. Absolutely. Right on. I love it. I love it. I hope that you feel that way too. So this is the idea. Daughters of Earth program. It starts in the beginning of February. It's $250 a month for the courses and the practices. It's 10 months. You can, there's a level 2 and a level 3 where you can add more, and that you get sessions, individual sessions, and other, personal touch with me. But the basic level, which is what I encourage everybody to be part of, it's only $250 a month. Everybody can find $250 a month. I'm asking you to consider whether this is something that's worth your time, to know how to keep your act together, to navigate through these changes, and then be able to show up for the people who love you, who you love in your life, to help them. And I'm encouraging you to teach what you are learning with me, and encouraging you to share how to stay grounded, how to remain in focus. So the things that we're doing in the 10 months, let me just read these to you. We're doing inner tribe work, which is where we're acknowledging all the fabulous parts of self, and you're getting a self-healing technique that you can use for you and your loved ones. We're working with the yin-yang whole brain. No, not $2.50 a month. Joni. Am I not worth more than that, Joni? No, $250 a month. the yin yang whole brain model of why women are visionaries and how to stay in that whole brain and yin yang marriage state. So, yes, Seta, 250. So that you are not put off your balance, so that you can remain focused, solid, centered. You know me, right? Have you noticed what I do in a crisis? Have you noticed that I keep my shit together in a crisis? Have you noticed that I can keep my cool in the situations where a lot of people would just be falling out? It's just through years and years of practice, years and years of practice. And to be able to get the information to prepare me for these things, years of practice, I want to share it with you. I want to share it with you. I want you to know how to do this stuff. Seta, thank you. Yes, I am, Joni. You are right. More than worth it. Yes, I'm trying to make it at a price point that makes sense so that you win, I win, everybody wins. So that's the least expensive part, is the $250 a month. But it's access to everything, access to all the courses, access to all the women's groups, access to all the lives that we do. So that's just $250 a month. And if you join this month, you get the bonus December 29th, the collage retreat and the 31 days crossing the bridge journey. We're going to be doing the Illumin collage. I'm going to teach you how to do Illumin collage. It's a collage technique I developed that actually predicts your year and also answers any question that you ask. Yes, any question you ask. Relationship, work, whatever you want to know, it's there. We're going to do the Leading by Being program. We're going to be doing conduit work, where I teach you how to manage your conduit between the big brain and the earth and the data stream, so you know how to interpret the data, who to talk to, who your helpers are. We're going to be doing soul blueprint maps, where I'm going to teach you how to find out who your helpers are and show you all the levels of frequency that you pass through to become who you are and your unique architecture. We're doing that. That is juicy and delicious all by itself. We're going to be working with retelling the Yeshua and Magdalene story, the whole divine feminine, divine masculine thing through the lens of Yeshua and Magdalene. We have been told, Peter and I have been told, that that story needs updating, and that we are here to help that happen. So we're going to teach you that. We're going to do women with integrated feminine and masculine work. So women who have had to internalize a stronger masculine in order to survive in this world, we are going to pull you back into union with your feminine. So feminine energy inside of you that is seeking to guide you about how to live and how to move through your life in a way that is in grace and in surrender to the bigger wave, so that you are coming out riding the wave instead of getting clobbered by it, but with the masculine energy inside of you, which is the action taker. So doing it in union, that is so key. We can't be only one or the other. We have to be doing things in union. And because that's the general operating system of the universe physically, there's both. There's both feminine and masculine. And I just realized I'm over time. I'm sorry. I just realized I'm past 4 o'clock. We're doing women's circles. I'm going to teach you how to be visionaries. I'm going to teach you how to listen for the big brain. I'm going to teach you some conflict resolution skills and women in leadership, moving into the women who are actually interested in moving into a deeper dive, like to actually show up and be collaborators with other women in the world. I'm going to introduce you to my buddies. We're going to have masterminds. So yeah, guts and grace. That's right. All of the above and more. Plus access to the entire library, which includes all the PEMS 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, divine timing, money is divine, sacred systems, so many beautiful courses that are in the library that you have access to all of that for $250 a month. Now, that's it. So, do you have questions? I'm willing to stay on here a little longer if you've got questions. Do you have questions about the year? Do you have questions about how to end well? Do you have questions about December 29th? Because that's really what I would love for you to do, is to go ahead and register for the 29th, December 29th, the online collage retreat, because that's where we're going to actually get into. We're actually going to do ceremony, a healing ceremony about 2018, letting go of the pain and suffering, embracing the love and the lessons. And then we're going to do an Illumin collage that actually predicts your year. So even if the program right now is too much to make a decision about, just join us for the December 29th event, the online collage retreat. I'll post the link as soon as I get done here, up here above. Peter and I are doing couples work. We have been doing couples work, and thanks, Tracy, for the question. We have a retreat in May in New Mexico that is Sacred Systems. This is where we're doing the Mending the Divide work, which of course it has to happen internally, right? We have to do that internally so that we can really bring that into our partnerships, so we don't keep doing this action-reaction swing. You know, the more unified we are here, then the less we do that outside. Set a cost for the 29th is $250 because it's a month-long program. It's a 31-day journey. So you get a 4-hour online retreat on the 29th, December 29th, where we do the ceremony and the collage process. And then the 31 days past that are literally going in, translating your collage, deep diving into the symbology in your collage, and then utilizing every day messages coming in each day for how to prepare for the year. So it's a 31-day preparation for the new year, saying goodbye to the old one, you know, doing our ceremony, but then preparing. So literally creating a calendar of the whole year in that 31 days where you are month by month being guided to things you need to be ready for. So that's $250 also. The whole program is $250 a month, and that's the standard price. So I'll put that link up for you. If you sign up for that for the December 29th today, that will be wonderful. And then you'll have an opportunity to see the depth of the work that I can do with you and the places that you can go when you have the tools in your hands. You know, when you have a good guide, a good mentor, and you have tools, how you can just ratchet up your life into this magic. And it doesn't matter what's coming. You'll be prepared for it. You can do it. And we're right here. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be right here all year. So, but join us in the group. Join us in the program in Daughters of Earth, and really consider being with us so we can all go there together. All right? Anything else? Any other questions? You guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today, and thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. There was so much to say here. I hope that you got something really useful from the live today. And if you have questions about the 29th, please post in this thread. I will come back to this and tag me. Just tag Licia Berry. I would love to see you. We've already got some lovely women signed up, but it's a really delicious, yummy thing for us to do. So Wendy Lee, thank you. You're the best too. Tracy, thanks. Lots of love to you guys. So good to be with you. Mwah. See you soon.